Hi guys, my presentation will be covering the assessment of functional living skills, also known as the AFLS. The AFLS is an assessment, skills tracking system, and curriculum guide for the development of essential skills for achieving independence. It was created by Dr. James Partington and Dr. Michael Mueller in 2012. The AFLS entails collecting information from 3 sources. The main source comes from people who regularly interact with the learner, including parents and teachers. The second source comes from direct observation of the learner in various settings. It is used to determine how the learner typically uses their skills. The third source of information is obtained from the formal presentation of tasks to the learners to determine his or her competence with specific skills. The time it takes depends on the skill level of the learner and how familiar the administrators or caregivers are with the learner. Time allotted for intakes vary by company. They can take 3 to 4 hours and may stretch over a few days. I use it. These skills are essential, practical, and everyday skills of daily living. If they are not mastered, they will need to be done for the learner. There are 6 modules designed to ensure caregivers and professionals provide learners with the best opportunities to learn how to do tasks for themselves in a broad array of real-world settings. Parents, educators, professionals, and other caregivers can use it. AFLS covers over 1,900 daily living skills in 66 functional skill areas. It's used to demonstrate a learner's current functional skill repertoire, develop enhanced person-centered programming and transition plans, provide critical roadmaps for learners, track the progressive development of skills from age 2 throughout life, and can be used simultaneously with the AFLS-R. The AFLS consist of 6 assessment protocols: the Basic Living Skills Assessment, the Home Skills Assessment, the Community Participation Assessment, the School Skills Assessment, the Independent Living Assessment, and the Vocational Skills Assessment. While each of these assessments can be used as standalone assessments, they should be conceptualized as being different modules of an extended assessment that exist on a continuum, as the skills addressed are all based upon overarching goals for maximizing freedom, independence, and opportunities for individuals with ASD. The Basic Living Skills Assessment ranges from skills that are often acquired by typically developing children at a very early age through those that may not be acquired until late adolescence or early adulthood. These skills should be considered as a prerequisite for any functional skills program for any age, setting, or disability. If these skills are not mastered, they will have a profound effect on a learner's ability to live independently, to be successful in school, and take advantage of various social and recreational activities throughout their life. They include self-management, basic communication, nighttime routines, health, safety, and first aid, dressing, grooming, bathing, and toileting. Home skills are often acquired by typically developing individuals through day-to-day interactions, teaching sequences, and consistent parental and sibling modeling. The assessment includes meals at home, clothing and laundry, housekeeping and chores, household mechanics, kitchen, cooking, dishes, and leisure. The community participation assessment includes community knowledge, social awareness and manners, meals in public, basic mobility, money, shopping, phone, and time. The intervention starts with learning to navigate safely around paths, roads, streets, and signs, along with interacting with people along the way, and then moves into these more detailed skills. School skills assessment covers basic behavioral expectations, including compliance, role following, transitions, waiting in lines, and more. It is essential for independence and successful functioning in different types of classrooms, in all parts of the school system, and with peers and changing staff. It covers all levels of education. The module includes skills such as common knowledge, core academics, applied academics, classroom mechanics, routines and expectations, technology, social skills, and meals at school. The Independent Living Skills Assessment focuses on skills necessary for transitioning from a supervised lifestyle to living a less supported lifestyle. The module includes interpersonal relationships, social interactions, personal management, problem solving, money management, independent shopping, kitchen tools and appliances, food and meal planning, living with others, maintenance and cleaning, mechanics and repairs, organizational skills, community travel, transportation, self-care, and safety. Vocational skills prepare the learner for joining the workforce. The vocational skills assessment module includes coworker relations, workplace safety, fixed activity skills, custodial and cleaning, laundry, job search, interview, and other basic skills. Intervention using the AFLS requires using a changing criterion design method. Each model contains a unique skills tracking grid. The grids allow you to see the results, select the skills in need of support, track progress, and compare progress over time. Shading on the graphs represents progress or mastery of skills, whereas more shading equals more skills and less shading equals less skills. This is a sample assessment sheet for grooming. Starting on the left side, you see the task number or code that correlates to the visual matrix. Next to that, you see the score. This is used to score the learner's capability by criteria. Criteria ranges from 2 to 4, depending on the task. Skipping over to criteria, right here, you see the description for each criteria number from 1 to 2 or 1 to 4. A score of 0 is given if the learner does not reach criteria 1. In between, you see the task name, the task objective or description, the question we're focusing on, and an example of the task if provided. On the far end is space for comments. This is a sample skills tracking sheet for home skills. Across the bottom, you see an abbreviation and the skill domain. So here, extending up from each domain are the specified tasks for assessment. These are expressed as the task codes that are transferred from the assessment sheet. Next to each task code, you see a circle. Fill this circle in when the skill was assessed and scored 0. Leave it empty if the skill was not assessed. Beside the circle, you see boxes. Each box represents a criteria. So here you see 2. If the learner scored a criteria of 1, you would just fill in 1. And here's an example of 4. If they scored 3, you would fill in 3, and so forth. In the top left corner, you see a box up here that serves as a legend. It has room for the learner's name, the assessor's name, date, and a color code for each assessment. This is a sample of a graph for a neurotypical child. As you can see, many of the tasks are already mastered. Some are not. Some only have 1 or 2 criteria at mastery, which is expected because there's always going to be room for growth as we learn and develop. And on the next slide, you will see an example of a sample graph of a child with autism. Here is a sample graph for the child with autism. As you can see, many of the skills were scored with a 0. It is far less shaded in. You do see some skills that are mastered, but as far as you can see, there's a lot of room for learning. And let's take a look up here at the legend. Just a reminder. We see the learner, and we see that this was done by mom. However, I don't see a color code. Interesting. This just reiterates that the assessment is designed in a simple way so that anybody can really conduct it. In summary, the AFLS is used to assess independence and functional living skills. It was created with a simple design so that it can be used by anyone. It uses a changing criterion intervention method with 6 protocols that have over 1,900 daily living skills in 66 functional skill areas. It uses a predetermined set of criteria for each skill that guides the scoring process through assessment sheets. Skills tracking sheets provide visual representation, are used to consolidate other data for easier treatment, planning, and programming. A large part of the information I found was in the iCloud drive on my iPad. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Have a good day, guys.